Hey friends, what's up? Ash here. Welcome back to Extra Gents Scents. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Armaf Checkmate King. This one I got for about 36 bucks from fragrancebuy.ca. I'll have it linked in the description. Feel free to check it out down there. And the first time I saw this was actually on Instagram. So this one was like part of their big exhibition at Beauty World in Dubai, which I didn't go to, but I saw a lot of people there were talking about this one and everything. So when it came out, I was like, well, let's scoop it up. There was a bit of an issue with this one, which I'll show you guys up close here in a second, but I don't know if this is the greatest bottle design, or maybe I'm just unlucky, could be that. But this is the bottle, as you can see right here. It's got the little chess piece king bottle cap, which is kind of cool looking actually, but I feel like maybe not the greatest design for a bottle, and that's because it kind of acts like a leverage point right here. So if this thing gets jostled around a little bit, it just feels like it could snap. And I say that because the one I got in, the first one, was snapped, as you can see. Oof, that's pungent. So what happened was this one came in the mail. I opened up the box and everything, and I saw that it looked a little messed up as far as this outer sleeve goes. It had some warping to it, and I was like, that's not good. Opened it up, you know, took the cellophane off. I could smell the fragrance and I knew right away that it was messed up. Got in touch with Fragrance Buy and they sent me a new bottle. So thanks Fragrance Buy for that. But I told them in the email, I was like, I think that the bottle design might be a little bit wonky and could cause this with some regularity depending on how much it gets jostled around. And to be safe, they took this out of the box, like this new one, and wrapped this up and sent me just the bottle. So when I show you the presentation for the box, understand that's why it looks a little janky. But yeah, the original one that I got in, you can see right here, it basically just cleanly snapped right off the top. I'll show you guys up close here. So here is the bottle. And you can see there, it just snapped right there. And so what happened was, while this was in transit, it leaked out all over, and that's why you can see like all this damage to the bottle and the cap and everything like that. And I got to admit, even with the new one, sometimes when I pull that cap up, it feels like it's putting a lot of pressure on this little gold piece that kind of keeps it all together there. So again, maybe I'm just unlucky, but I wanted to show you guys in case something similar might happen to you. I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. All right. Let's go ahead and kick things off by taking a look at the presentation. Again, the box is going to be a bit discolored, and that is because of all that leakage. So first off, you have a slip cover on the outside of the box. On the front there, you have the name of the fragrance. It is Checkmate King or King Checkmate, depending on where you look. You also have the Armaf logo right in the middle. Up top, you have nothing on the back either. And on the bottom, you have your badge code and your ingredients and barcode. Unfortunately, my badge code rubbed off. And here we have the box. Again, everything on the front, same design, Checkmate King, Eau de Parfum. That kind of discoloration you see is because of the leakage. So I think it's supposed to just be silver all the way, but then mine is kind of like a gold and silver. You have this chest design that goes around the box. On the back, it says Armaf from the House of Sterling, and then it opens up like so, and your bottle sits down inside here. And it even has a little pull tab that you can pull. Ooh. And here we have the bottle. So again, on the front, you have the concentration, the size, and the name. You have Armaf along the collar of the bottle. You have this nice chess piece cap design, and on the bottom, a sticker. Also says Armaf on top of the atomizer. Let's go ahead and share a couple sprays. Here we go, coming close. 3 sprays. Atomizer is all right, gets the job done. Overall, the presentation looks pretty nice, just with a potential thing to watch out for. So this one is a clone of Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal Absolu, which is one of my absolute, that's cringy, favorite fragrances of the year. Really enjoy this one. Basically has that Scandal DNA, but made into a sexier, warmer fragrance. Bit sweeter as well compared to the original and the Le Parfum edition. Slightly less classy than those two, but better for fall and winter, for an evening out, for a date, for getting compliments, stuff like that. It's a little bit nicer. Really love this one just all the way around. And you may think to yourself, well, why do they even need this? Because they already have Odyssey, Mandarin, Sky. which this is a clone of Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal. So do they really need another clone of a different Scandal? And I will say, if you wear these side by side, they're not the same. So it's not one of those things where they just repackaged this into here and gave it a new presentation and we're like, oh, here you go. Like I said, this is a clone of the original Scandal. So those differences between Scandal and Scandal Absolu are gonna be found between here and here, essentially. I actually really like Odyssey Mandarin Sky, especially for the price point. If you can get that for sub 30 bucks, it's a nice pickup. If you can get it closer to 20, it's even nicer. But I think side by side, when you spray these on or wear these next to each other, that Checkmate King does overall smell better than Mandarin Sky. But again, I like Scandal Absolu the most of the Scandal fragrances, so your mileage may vary depending on which Scandal you like more. This one is a little bit fresher, has a slight aromatic tinge to it, whereas this one, Checkmate King, leans more into like the sweet side of things. More sweet, spicy, warm, whereas this one does have a bit of sweetness, as I said, is also a bit fresher, more aromatic. Still good though. Now, when you compare these side by side, they are extremely close, Scandal Absolu and Checkmate King, but there are some differences. The main difference for me is that, at least off skin, I get more of that chestnut kind of almost gourmandy edge to Scandal Absolu, whereas over here in Checkmate King, you get more of that sweetness. You still get that chestnut vibe coming across in Checkmate King. It's still there. It's just, this is more ramped up sugary aspect off the top, which is probably not a big surprise. A lot of clone fragrances do end up having a little more sweetness to them when you compare them to the OG. There's the same thing going on here, but that is splitting hairs a little bit. I mean, this is one of those ones where in the air, almost everybody is gonna be like, oh, Scandal Absolu. It smells really, really similar. It's just you get more of that chestnut, more of that kind of toffee-esque vibe coming across here, whereas you get more sweet, spicy, warm, sexy coming across here. Checkmate King is really well done. It doesn't have any of that funkiness to it, that alcohol kind of vibe when you first spray it on. This is one of the higher quality clones where you can spray it, smell right away, and it's gonna smell great. Performance is good, right in line with Scandal Absolu. The atomizer is a little bit worse, so you may want to do a couple more sprays to make up for that, but if you do a 1-to-1, it performs like the Scandal. In terms of when you'd use Checkmate King, the exact same times that you would use Scandal Absolu, so basically fall, winter, a little more of an evening scent, but it's safe during the day as well. Big compliment getter, very versatile because again, pretty much the same. And in terms of price difference, if we round, you're looking at about 35 bucks for this one, 100 ml size. Scandal Absolu, as of this video, at discounters for a 100 ml size, about 105 bucks. Sometimes it's sold out, but as of this video, it's in stock. So we're just gonna go with that and assume that you can get it for about that price point. If you get a 50 ml, which is this size right here, I think that's about 85. So roughly 1/3 the price of this, just as far as like 100 ml to 100 ml at discounters. And it is really close, like goofy close. Very much in the same way that Odyssey Mandarin Sky is extremely close to the original Scandal. This is the same thing for Scandal Absolu. And since I like Scandal Absolu more, as I said before, I would take this over this. Even if that was, say, 10 bucks more, I think it's worth 10 bucks more than this one. That one's still good. Don't get me wrong. It's just, like I said a couple times, Scandal Absolu is my choice. Just a little bit sweeter, slightly less depth and body in this. If you compare these side by side, it's almost like you get a little more of the mid and base notes coming out here compared to this one. And you get a little more of that sugary sweetness, more of the top end coming out of this one. That's really the main difference. It's like the same song, but they've adjusted the equalizer a little bit. So there we go, guys. Checkmate King, just kind of a quick overview, first impressions really on that one. If you get the problem with your bottle, reach out and get another one. Hopefully it's not a widespread kind of deal, but yeah. I'm just gonna throw this away now, honestly, because it friggin' reeks. It's like this smell of, I don't know, like rubber that's having a chemical reaction. It's just really bad. It's really awful. All right, guys, thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow or some other time on this channel. See you guys.